Moving to Italy was one of the biggest decisions of my life. Initially, I thought that I would come here, study for 2 years and enjoy this beautiful experience, and then maybe I move somewhere else or return home. But Italy had other plans. It literally pulled me in. I had my ups and downs here, and if I'm being honest, I thought of moving away from Italy not even once in those past years. And in the end of it, somehow I always decided to stay. But here's the truth. There is so many things that no one tells you before you move here. Some small things that just catch you off guard, or bigger things that make you question the whole decision. Ciao, I'm Vlada. I'm half Ukrainian, half Russian, and I've been living in Italy for 6 years. And today in this video, I want to share with you the 6 things that I wish I knew before moving to Italy. No filters, no cliches, just full honest picture, because yes, Italy is beautiful, but it will also challenge you in many ways. You always hear people say how hard it is to make friends abroad, but honestly, for me at the beginning it was not like that at all. When I moved here for university, everything felt easy, fun, natural. We had group projects, spontaneous trips, student events. I quickly connected to other international students because we were basically in the same boat, passing the same experience, trying to figure out life in a new country, new language. And this created a strong bond. But here's what I didn't know back then. Yes, I will make friends, international friends, but not Italian. And even harder truth is many of those international friends will eventually leave. Some go back to their countries, others move on to places like Germany or the Netherlands, where they find better work-life balance or better work opportunities and salaries. And suddenly most of my friends are just scattered around the world, and in a way it's beautiful because I have now long distance friendship in every corner of the globe, but not necessarily in Italy. That's the part that no one tells you. Friendships abroad is not something you found and keep it. It's an intentional ongoing process, especially when you're self-employed or not working in a traditional office environment. And while it can be harder to form a closer friendship with Italians, since they usually have these knit tight circles from the childhood, it's so important. Italian friends help you truly feel part of the culture. They challenge your language skills, introduce you to their customs, and in general make you feel more rooted, like you truly are a part of life here. And for me, I'm still in the process with my Italian friendships, because maybe it's not that easy, since in Milan people are not so open, a bit more cold, let's say. Like friends on a superficial level, of course, yes, it's easier to find, but when it comes to a deeper connection, there is like a barrier that is not so easy to pass. So I mean, you just need to put yourself out there and don't give up. And for me, it's still work in progress. Even this YouTube channel I created partially because I wanted to find like-minded people. One thing I feel a lot of people underestimate is how traditional Italy really is. This isn't London or Amsterdam, where everyone is from somewhere else, so blending in feels easier. Here traditions run deep, like really deep. You can mention it everywhere, like even in details. People don't just drink coffee, they take time for their espresso, standing at the bar, chatting. Even the way people talk about food here, every region has its own rules, its own local product, and they are very proud of it and they protect them. At first it made me feel like I didn't belong, like I was always outside looking in. Everyone around me had grown up with the same jokes, same references, same rituals, and I had none of that. And both me and my husband are foreigners in Italy, so we don't have like a deep contact with the culture on a daily basis, which maybe makes it even harder. But I have to say that with time I stopped fighting it. I started to try to perceive it more as a gift, like I was given a new life, you know, a second life, a different one. Because here, like anywhere else maybe, but here it just, I feel, feels even more, you can't live in your own bubble. You have to open up, otherwise it's gonna be very hard for you. But when you do, it starts changing you. And I'm not talking about romantic dolce vita way. It's more a quiet way, in small details. You just start to gain new habits, new rituals, how you spend your Sundays, how you take pauses, how you eat and what you eat. Just those little things. And I think no matter where you come from, Italy will inevitably change you. And that shift, at first you don't really see it coming, but then after living here for some time and looking back, you will mention how this country with its strong cultural code changed your identity, changed your daily life, your habits, everything. And in my personal opinion, this cultural mix, if you don't lose completely your identity, of course, I think it's always only benefits you. It broadens your horizons, it opens your eyes to many things. You just start to be more open-minded and see that the world is much bigger than just one country. Okay, if I could do one thing differently, I definitely started learning Italian earlier, like much earlier. And yes, I know that it sounds super obvious, but what's less obvious is that Italian is not as easy as many people might think. Like everyone just sees it as it's beautiful, very nice sounding language that you move to Italy and it will just automatically come to you and you start speaking. But in reality, it's not that simple. It's a hard work. For example, in my case, I knew Spanish and I thought this will make my Italian learning easier, but nope. It's full of exceptions that you just have to remember with time. Also, the verb tenses that make your brain melt, articles that change based on number, gender, and even the first letter of the next word. Also, prepositions that sometimes still confuse me. And for example, I want to say I'm going to the beach. Vado alla spiaggia. But if I want to say I'm going to the mountain, I would say vado in montagna. And if I'm going to the doctor, I will say vado dal medico. So while in English or Spanish for these phrases you would use the same preposition, in Italian it really depends, and each destination has its own preposition based on subtle difference between the type of place you are going to. It's one of those small but very important details that just takes time to get used to, and that's why it's crucial to never ignore grammar. And I would suggest to buy a grammar book with exercises very early on along your journey, and this would just help you to learn faster. And I have to admit that even after 6 years of living here, I still sometimes struggle, but I've learned to keep going even when it's slow. And my advice to you would be to try to completely surround yourself with Italian, even if you're not living in Italy yet, you're just thinking on moving. I would start watching YouTube videos in Italian, listen to Italian music, read Italian books, watch TV shows in Italian, and try to just consume all the information, all the content in Italian. And by the way, I was thinking to make this video of how to learn Italian faster and what I would personally read, watch and listen to if I would be studying Italian from zero now, just in general about learning Italian through its pop culture. Let me know if it's interesting for you and I will definitely make this video. And that would be a great help for you if you could do that before coming to Italy to live here, because you would also get a grasp of Italian culture. And for those who are already living here but are feeling shy to speak or afraid to make mistakes, like me, guilty, I would suggest still try to make an effort, always, because no one will remember your mistakes, but every little chat in Italian would contribute to your learning a lot, because learning the language, that's what truly unlocks the country. Italy teaches you this one lesson over and over again. Let go of the plan. Because here nothing goes as you expect, like literally nothing. Say you need to go to the bank or apply for a document. Here you probably will need to go at least 3 times until it gets done. And you'll probably be told to bring things that later no one asks for, but then you will be asked for things that were not on the list. It's just a mystery every time. For example, for our wedding, I had to translate birth certificate because it was on the list of documents that they are asking for. And then I spent money, translated, and no one ever asked me for these documents, but they asked me to bring a bunch of other things that I never saw on the official list. Back home in St. Petersburg, I was used to completing million tasks a day, but here in Italy it's just different. Things move slower, there are always some surprises, and it feels like you're never in full control. Italy just forces you to become okay with uncertainty and just trust the process, or I don't know, the universe. And honestly, I wish I wouldn't get so frustrated about it my first years after moving here, because it would save me so much stress. If you're ambitious and full of ideas and dreams about innovation, Italy might not always feel like the right place. Here, stability is the goal. A permanent job contract is what many people dream of. Safety, routine, no startups, no risks. So if you're coming here hoping to build something, often you might feel like pushing through the system that doesn't make it easy at all. Especially if you're young and especially if your work is digital. But I have to say, for new freelancers, for the first 5 years, there is a reduced tax. For example, right now I'm paying only 5% tax, which I think it's very good. Still, here you need patience, thick skin, and high tolerance for uncertainty. Believe me, I'm speaking from my own experience as a small business owner. Also, living here has completely changed how I think about food. Back in St. Petersburg, I was never aware what's on season because there is not many things that grow locally. So I was just always buying whatever is in the supermarket. When I moved here, I started recognizing seasons because everything here revolves around seasons, and what you see in the supermarket or even in the restaurant, it always changes. And I mean, how amazing this is that almost all the products are grown and produced locally. It definitely makes me feel more present, more aware, and more connected to what I eat. And cooking with local fresh ingredients, it feels like a small way to live more sustainably. So if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't come with fewer expectations, I would just come with different ones. I'd remind myself that falling in love with the country, it's not always perfect, it's a process, it can be messy, it's like a relationship. And yes, I lived amazing moments here and I had also very tough moments, but overall I'm very grateful for the life I've built here and to this country, this amazing beautiful country that has so much to offer. And if you're just thinking of moving here, I hope this video gave you a fuller picture, a bit more honest and human beyond just gelato and beautiful sunsets. And if you're already living here, I would love to know in the comments what you wish you knew before moving to Italy, and maybe share what's been the most surprising part of your journey in Italy. And if you enjoyed my video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Ciao!